For the presentation, I have included a table of contents or a menu system, which if you're using a PC, you can access at any time by simply pressing the letter M for menu, or by clicking on the three lines in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. If you're using a touchscreen device, such as a cell phone or tablet, you can just touch them with your, select it by touching it. If you're using a computer, you can actually click on it. And that will bring up the menu, the main menu. And that menu allows you to view any section or subsection you want in any order you want. Since that video was made, I've decided not to use the upper right-hand corner with the three-line button. We're just going to have buttons along the lower left-hand corner of the screen. There will be the M there for the menu, and that you can click on with the mouse, or you can click on by hand on a touchscreen. There will also be, next to it will be a R. The R in a yellow box and a red R will only come up, that button will only come up when you have moved the camera view yourself. You can move around in the scene, manually if you want. But when you do so, you're overwriting what would be the normal presentation view. So that R will come up whenever you're not in the normal presentation view. And if you press the R, that restores it back to the presentation view, where the presentation sometimes controls the camera and shows you what, is being discussed. But you're free to move around the scene on your own. And all of that is explained in the help menu. And there is a button H in the lower left-hand corner, and that brings up the help screen, and for navigating and help. So then, and then there's an F. The F button is to enter or exit full screen mode, where the presentation will occupy the full screen of the device you have. All right. Those changes have been made since the video is made, and I'm just going to do an audio over insert instead of redoing the video right now. And if you have web browser cookies enabled, Srila Prabhupada, Jai, Prabhupada's giving out cookies. But they're not web cookies. But Jai Srila Prabhupada. But if you have web browser cookies enabled, the cookies will keep track of what section you have viewed and where you last left off. However, this feature only works if you're using the same device each time and to view the presentation, and of course if you have the web browser cookies enabled. Although the menu allows you to randomly view any section you want at any time, I very much strongly recommend that for the first time you go through the presentation in the order it is given in the main menu. 1, 2, 3 at a time. Just presented in the order, because I'm just going off script, but it's like a movie. I mean, if you're watching a movie and just, let me just see what the last scene is, and you look at the last scene, you may totally misunderstand what that last scene is about because you missed the whole movie. If you just go, that sounds like an interesting scene, let me go and view that, and you just look at that scene, well, you don't understand what just took place to lead up to that, and if you start bouncing around, you'll mess up. You won't get the plot, you won't get the understanding. So I very strongly recommend that you go through the site as I have given it in the main menu, in the order it's given there. What I've allowed for is after you've watched it through, you can come back, what did Prabhupada say about this? What happened on this date or something? And you can go in the chronological, you can get everything is there. All the timeline, the different events. So that menu is for that. You can always go back randomly later. But I really suggest you go through the first time in the order it's given. Thank you very much for taking your time to view this presentation. May His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, bless us all with His causeless mercy. Aspiring to become a most humble and worthy servant of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, your servant, Amiyatma Das. Hare Krishna. Can we Can we get one of those cookies now, Prabhupada? Oh, John.